Is there a difference learning online and learning offline? What are the benefits that we enjoy? These are some of the major concerns of some of the learners. We are in the post-COVID era, but still some people haven't relinquished their doubts and confusion regarding this aspect of learning. By the way, this is Rini Rose Matthew. I'm a CELTA certified tutor and also a language trainer and an author. If you're visiting the channel the first time, do not forget to watch the other videos. I would have answered most of your repeated questions or other areas of confusion. Just take some time to scroll down and watch the other videos where I've given a lot of guidelines. Today's topic is all about online learning and online work, offline learning and offline work. We know that since the lockdown, many institutions, organizations, renowned people, groups have started working online. There began the phase of self-learning. But still somehow people are not used to it. I'm not saying about everyone. Personally, I've got used to the online mode because I'm working online most of the time. And there are some guidelines that I would like to give you. I began working online since the lockdown, writing, learning, teaching. It's not that I just train people, I also take workshops when it comes to psychology, counseling and art. Before beginning the video, I recollect a particular incident when the principal of a school told me that it's quite easy to teach adults. We don't have to put in much effort. There is nothing known as class management skills. Of course, we have got class management skills. We have got a lot of other aspects, behavioral problems, a lot of issues that crop up even among adult learners. And it's of a different intensity and frequency. It's when it comes to kids, they are more porous and they're quite transparent. But today, kids have changed a lot. When it comes to adult learners, more of unlearning, relearning happens because they would have learned so many things. They would have reached a particular stage of their life and they really would want to work on their skills. So at times we need to unlearn and then relearn, and only people who have got the mindset for that will actually develop. Otherwise, they will keep on complaining, they will keep on speaking about what they were not able to do in the past. But I would say that 60% of the adults are quite skilled with this. There is self-learning and also taking sessions online. Okay, the next one is technology. Of course, there's a very big difference, the advent of technology, where you get to see me like this. It's not just about YouTube. A lot of platforms, professional platforms, have created the space for online teaching and learning. Especially in our country, we need to be very careful because there are a lot of fraudulent groups operating even in the other parts of the world. I remember sharing a video a year back. This is the video. I've also linked the video in the video description. I've spoken about the scam, the fraudulent areas where people misuse the learning technology and the learning space. Fortunately, I was not trapped, but many people told me later that this was a group claiming to help the students, the kids till grade 12. I don't want to name the platform, but it is really in a very big problem. So you need to be careful when you enroll with such groups, when you apply also for a particular position. The technology has changed, but I don't know whether people have really changed when it comes to self-learning aspects. Many people are still in the traditional mode where they expect notes, lecture notes, and they think that listening to a session for maybe 1 hour will equip them with all the necessary tools in language. And some people think that when you go to an offline academy, everything works. When it comes to an offline academy or institution, of course, you see the person. But of course, if you have a stable internet connection, most of the features are available even online. I understand some people are not able to use this facility. And of course, they will have to depend on the offline platforms. But where are the offline platforms? Do we have enough offline platforms that are dedicated and sincere towards language development, developing language as a skill? countable ones are there. We see language organization, institutions, schools in every nook and corner. I've already mentioned about this. Technology is there, and many people find it easy to use this particular aspect of learning. I would say that even if you're new to technology, like sending an email, knowing how to use Zoom, Google Meet, or all the other platforms that we have here with Microsoft Teams and such kind of platforms, you can learn it on your own. It's something that just requires maybe weeks, 2 or 3 weeks to get used to it and practice on the platform after creating an ID. But if you find excuses, that can be done both online and offline, because people procrastinate even when it comes to online academy and offline platforms or academy, whatever it is. And today you need to know that many renowned organizations consider the experience, the online experience, for job profile, portfolios. They always look into the academy and the organization that you work with. When it comes to distraction, people say we don't get distracted. So when it comes to offline classrooms also, we have class management skills. Even online, when we work online, we have something known as class management skills. Okay, there it's totally different. There is something known as respecting the space of another person, allowing others to speak and then speak, and also make sure that you unmute your audio. And apart from all these things, you have to understand that distraction is inevitable, but focusing can happen. You can focus, you can make and bring about the change if you really want to. The efficacy of the platform totally depends on the trainers, the management, the methods used, irrespective of it being offline or online. And when it comes to sharing documents also, if people don't bring their books or if they forget to share some document, that can be done on the spot. Technology is quite fast. I told you in the beginning, a stable internet connection is required. And where there's a will, there is a way. You can learn anytime, anywhere, at your own pace. This works with people who are professional, who are adults. When it comes to children, yes, socializing, being in a classroom, everything makes a very big difference. I have worked both online and offline. So I deal with education. I feel there is less space for gossip and speaking together in groups and demotivating people, because you get to speak in corridors, you get to see people speaking and demotivating each other. The only thing that I miss is the lunch hour, where we all sit together and share our ideas, and also food. But apart from that, when it comes to online work, this is my experience, it can vary from person to person. I feel that the focus is more. You can work at your pace, but still attendance is mandatory. You will be checked if you have logged in on time, because everything is so fast, it's conspicuous, and it's done by the AI also. Most of the platforms work that way today. One more thing is, we have got the facility to record the sessions. I remember during the COVID lockdown period, most of the teachers were scared to take classes because it happened online, because parents also got a chance to see how the classes were held and how much of preparation was done by most of the teachers. It was a tough time for the trainers and the teachers. But what I'm trying to tell is, all these things could be scarred and even evaded when it happens online or offline as well. The focus and concentration totally depends on what you really want to do. There is space, there are opportunities to spoil yourself, to spoil your effort, and to get distracted, irrespective of the platform, whether it happens online or offline. The output solely depends on what you do, how much you make of every moment. And if you're totally into the self-learning mode, it's quite easy. You can do it. I'm not speaking about distance education here. That's totally different, because some of the universities do not accept distance education. People get confused between distance education and online mode of learning. When you enroll for something, you need to understand that it's important to check the credentials, the credits, the credibility of the institution and the organization, because as I told you, it's easy for people to just have something in the nook and corner of your society, your country or place, and claim that they are accredited and acknowledged by greater, higher levels of education. You need to really check if it is the case. And it's not very easy to differentiate between certificates and things like that. First of all, take the opinions of others. Try to find out more about the organization from the website. Go in person if it's possible. Try to find out from real people who have gone through the process, because otherwise it's your money and your energy. You don't want to go for something that's not authentic, right? The last point is there are a lot of people who are working towards online mode of work, the hybrid mode as well, which requires more work. The other question is, where do you have to work more? Both are equal. As I told you, the monitoring is quite easy when it comes to online. It's easy to tap and also find out who is really working when it comes to online mode of working, if the platform, organization and the academy is genuine, because everything is recorded, documented, right? Now, there are a lot of possibilities for the documents to get erased, but every institution will have a way of maintaining the portfolio and the work done over a period of year. There is a kind of schedule, scheme and routine followed by most of the platforms. Working offline is different. You may not have the space for many things because you go to a place, you have the work atmosphere and you're away from home. If you're working from your office, okay, online mode or home, you need to have your own workspace. Otherwise, you can get distracted. People can come in if there are a lot of people in the house, if they're sharing your space. So make sure that you are in a place where you're not disturbed. You cannot attend to the needs of everyone, even if it's offline mode, where you say yes, yes, yes to everyone and forget to do your work. This happens online also. If you really contemplate and look into what you're really doing, you will understand the difference. Today, there are a lot of people who don't really encourage working online, but I don't really find the difference. It totally depends on what you're into, because some of the work cannot be done online. You really need the space, you need the physical presence of tools and people. I understand that totally. I'm solely speaking about learning, right? So here we are not debating about which is better. We are actually looking into who can do it better. People who are really genuine and sincere can go for any mode. It doesn't matter. Only thing is you have to be sure about the credentials and the authenticity of the platforms. The last point is updating. Of course, your computer and your gadgets update on its own if you allow the system to update. It's important for you to also update as well, because without updation, without upgradation, it's so sad to see teachers also repeating the same plans and repeating the same procedure of teaching all the time, not understanding the needs and requirements. We all know, we all preach also that people are different, skills are different, every individual is different, and also customized learning has come into the market today, but it's not as easy as it claims. Because looking at the structure of the education, the educational systems that we follow, a lot of people are working towards progress, towards the needs and requirements of children and learners, but it depends on the person who is handling the delivery, the management also. I wouldn't call it need actually, it's more about the want, the competition and the challenges that we are facing. Of course, you need to satisfy the customer, the clients and anybody who takes your service, but you should remember that there are genuine groups also operating in our own country. Let's learn from them, right? I hope all these guidelines help you, and I hope you get the gist of what I'm trying to convey. I would request you to not assume. You may have some experience, you would have observed certain things, but it need not be the case with everyone and anyone. But there are certain things that are quite common to most of the platforms institutions and also organizations. So we need to filter. Again, I'm telling you that, organize and discipline ourselves. Okay, we cannot find excuse for that. Happy learning.